Welcome back. We've had a crazy week here at Zebulon Harding headquarters here. But we did get a lovely little facelift over here. This is an interesting thing. So this last weekend, I had the opportunity to play Ironsworn with some of my friends from TikTok that I normally play a mass game with. Not everybody could make it, so we are continuing the misadventures of the crew of the consequences of our own actions. So that was session 2, and rather than recording it and re-uploading it as I do here, we did it as a live stream. So some folks dropped in, some of the folks that usually drop in for pretty much everything, which is great to see. Caught Dingo is probably the primary offender there. And also Josh Meehan, the head artist for Starforged, dropped in and hung out for a bit. Heckled the bad dice rolls, all my bad dice rolls, because we were playing in co-op mode, and mostly my bad rolls, and then departed. And while we were playing, he probably noticed that we were doing some pretty hacked together kind of screenshots of planets and stuff like that for our star map. It's possible he noticed it. All I can say is that a day later, there was an email from Starforged Actual saying, hey guys, those of you who have funded or backed the Kickstarter, here is a whole folder of lovely transparent background planets from the that Josh Meehan has provided, so that you can use it in your virtual tabletop and other games and stuff like that for free for personal use. I'm not saying the two things are connected, but Josh, if you're seeing this and you did see my janky setup and you took pity and decided that myself and other people like me needed a setup that was a little bit less janky and decided to provide this fantastic art, you can see that I've already been putting it to use here. Thank you regardless of why you did it, but if you did do it because you were watching our crazy show, our crazy episode, thank you. Yeah, so we got some new art in here for Furnace Worlds and Shattered Worlds, Jovian, and this middle one here actually took two of them and glommed them together into a single, since Last Hope and Glimmer are in the same system. I put them together as a single icon here, where we are still hanging out for this, what is, I believe, session 26? I'm not sure. Let's find out. Yes, it is, in fact, session 26. Thanks so much for asking. And we found ourselves on the planet of Last Hope, where poor old Earl is dealing with some thinking that needs to be done. There's a lot going on right now with the crew of the Zebulon Harding and his allies. A lot to sort out here. On Last Hope, we're on a relatively sparsely populated world. Last Hope only has like a few hundred settlers on it. They're primarily focused on subsistence. They have a precursor vault in orbit around the planet that apparently most people don't notice. Earl's noticed it. Paladin didn't see it until Earl pointed it out to him, so not exactly sure what that's about. Some kind of perception filter. Maybe you don't notice it until somebody points it out to you. Earl's trying to remember the first time he ever noticed it. He's not sure when that was. Maybe he just noticed it? Not exactly sure what's going on there. Back on the planet of Glimmer, one of the more ironically named worlds, the toxic wasteland known as Glimmer, we have a bunch of stuff going on there, and I think that's where Earl needs to go, but his whole situation is complicated somewhat by the fact that Kay, our erstwhile star wisp, and thank you for those of you who left notes about what they think the energy creatures out there. I think Wisp is maybe a little bit small sounding for the really big guys who eat starships, but in our case, I think K makes a lot of sense being referred to as a Wisp. K, our star wisp friend, had kind of a traumatic response when they saw Glimmer and apparently some sort of toxic industrialized waste from the molecular cloud around the star and Meridian system being used to sort of poison the planet. And kind of feels like they're not really good. They didn't want to land on that planet. We didn't land on the planet, that's why we're on Last Hope. Not exactly sure how we're supposed to get to Glimmer and do anything about this, because apparently K doesn't want to go there, and what do we do with them while we're off doing stuff on Glimmer? Or do they still feel that way? And I would like to check that, because what I'm going to do here, we're going to hit a couple of oracles here to begin, because Earl is still pondering everything and trying to weigh all this down and weigh all this out. And I think that there's a chance, not a great chance, but I think that there's a chance that after thinking about it a little bit, Kay has a change of heart, in so much as they have a heart. And there's a chance they're going to change their mind about this and decide, now wait a second, something bad is happening there, but I can handle it, and I want to find out what's going on. Because as we've established, these creatures, Todd commented on wisps, and Dingoes really likes wisps. I like wisps for the small ones, but the big ones we're going to call tempests. Ooh, I like that. Tempests for the big ones, and wisps for the small ones, like Kay. All right, so the question before the jury is, does Kay have a change of heart? Because we've established that the tempests are somewhat vengeful creatures. They are creatures that demand answers for the wrongs done to them. They may be somewhat senseless about that, or maybe they're entirely aware of what it is that they're doing, very mindful of what it is they're doing. Yeah, I'm fine with that either way. I think there's a possibility that Kay, after some pondering, decides that they need answers, and they're willing to go onto this toxic world to get them. So let's take a look at that. Oracles. What did I say? It's likely. How do I want to word this? It's unlikely that they're going to change their mind, because it is pretty traumatic, and they are young by their measure of things. So I'm going to say it's unlikely, but not impossible, that they will have a change of heart and decide that they are willing to go back to Glimmer. So let's find out about that first of all, while Earl sits there and talks himself around in circles with Paladin. This is happening. A 98 says no. They're very, very not changing their mind. All right, which is fine. That's fine. And even Paladin last, like, is there any chance you're gonna turn them around on that? And like, I'm not even gonna try to. They have a right to feel how they feel, and I'm not going to put them into that kind of a situation. I don't know if they can be hurt necessarily, but I'm certainly not going to put them in that kind of situation if I don't have to, and if they don't want to. So we're just going to lay that one to the side. And Earl looks at Paladin. Paladin looks at Earl. Earl continues to look at Paladin thoughtfully. And Paladin says, I don't much like the way you're looking at me. Very much there, Earl. Well, just trying to figure out what to do with Kay there. A little young to be just wandering around. Can't really leave him on the planet here. I need somebody to keep an eye on him. Earl, I don't think that's a very good idea. Well, sure, but counter argument, I kind of need you to do it anyway. So Paladin is a connection for me, which is more than a contact, they're not just a connection for me. They're a bond. So a bond represents a deeper, more meaningful relationship with a connection. So the reason I'm looking at this is I'm trying to decide if I'm wondering if I need to actually compel him to do this and take care of Kay. But a bond isn't, like, even a friendship, even a deep friendship, isn't mind control. And Arnav is not the caregiving type. I'm not saying he's dismissive. I'm not even saying he's not empathetic. But if you look at what he does do, he is a smuggler and a agent against corporate malfeasance, right? That's not babysitter to star wisps, really. So I think he may need a little bit of talking to do this, to get into this. So I am going to compel on Arnav and see if I can talk him into this. And he's like, no. I kind of feel like you're the only person I can reach out to here. You're really the only person I can trust in this whole. Okay, Asana would be great, but she may not be much better suited for this. And well, you have the advantage of actually being right here. No, I just don't. I feel like that's a really negative way of approaching this. Yes, it is very negative. I'm saying no, I'm not going to do this. Well, let's see if we can come at this a little bit more in a more constructive way. Let's have a conversation. What would help you decide to help us out? Nothing would help us. This is a terrible idea, and we shouldn't do it. Well, we wouldn't be doing it. You would be doing it. I just need you to. You don't. They practically take care of themselves. I forget they're even on the ship. You don't have to feed them. They don't consume anything. You just need to kind of keep them out of trouble, and you're really, really good at staying out of trouble. Arnav, you're one of the best people out. You're better at it than I am. I get in trouble all the time, and I have to take them along with me. It's a terrible situation. I'm going to go into harm's way right now, probably, back on Glimmer. I just need you to stay here for a little bit longer. Keep an eye on Kay, maybe so you can find out where they came from. And, what was that? Nothing. You just, chat with them a little bit, and, just get to know them. Have another friend that they can live. This is really, I'm not asking for much. When you try to persuade someone or make them an offer, envision your approach. I am trying to charm, pacify. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm rolling heart, and I believe that I should be able to take my bonus for the bond on this roll because it's funny. So it doesn't actually say anything about that in there that you get a bonus on it for the bond of the or the connection or anything like that. So this is probably not legit. Again, I'm going to supersede that by the rule of it's funny. So I'm going to do that. And we're going to compel by charming, pacifying, so on and so forth. And I'm going to take my bond, which is a +2, and I'm going to wait for just a little bit because the system's being very slow. And check this out. What did we get? What did we get? What? Okay. I'm just going to share this. Apologies for not having the dice box up. You saw it here. I don't even know what the odds of that are, but they're not good. That's me rolling a 6 against, well, I'm getting a 10. I'm getting a 10 on my action score against freaking double 10s. That is a miss with a match. All 10s showing. I don't even know what to do with that. Okay. Pay the price as a friend, a companion, or an ally is in harm's way, or you are if you're alone. And make it worse if it's double. Urgent message distracts you from your quest as a story complication. Okay. Not shown. 20 minutes of me sitting on the couch, staring up at the ceiling, trying to figure out what to do next. Here's what's going to happen. Here's what happens. All right. So we're in the middle. I am jovially nudging our paladin to kind of stay here and babysit Z, hang out on the ship. And he's probably about to agree. And he gets a comms call. And it's from Asana, who you'll recall I picked up on my route over to JVC at Paladin's request and got back over here to Glimmer for him. And Asana has radioed Arnav in the middle of all this, the comms thing, and she's a cool customer. Nothing much phases her. She is actually another bond of mine, and I want to say she's a thief. I don't judge, but she is a thief. So she's actually a very good thief. She doesn't have like 2 rolls or something like that, which can happen when you get to be a bond. I doubled down on her being a thief, so she's just very, very good at that. And although she is a bit of a cool customer, she sounds extremely tense right now. And he's like, calm down, what's going on? And he ends up kind of putting her on a lot, like on open comm, so we can both hear. And she said, and as he flicks it on, she's in sort of mid-sentence. I said, we are getting put on this under siege. We just had over 24 warships drop out of space from 2 different directions into the system, and they're all dropping into a blockade formation around Glimmer. Okay, hang on. We're getting there's a broadcast. Look, just listen. And she, you hear her kind of pulling her headset comms off and just holding the mic up next to the speakers. And it's a voice I recognize. It's this guy from Meridian Station. I cannot remember his name, but we will look it up. But he's the commander. It's like, I know that voice. That's the commander of Meridian Station, the military. Not that commander, but he's the commander of the security forces. He's just a security. What is it? It's like, attention. This is the Meridian Security Space Fleet. We are out of an abundance of caution and the need to pursue enemies of Meridian Corporation, enforcing a brief blockade around Glimmer until the agitator and anti-corporate saboteur Earl Baxter captain of the Zebulon Harding, is turned over to our custody, as well as his ship, the Zebulon Harding. Once that is done, we will exit from the system. But until that happens, we will be enacting a full trade, commerce, and travel blockade around Glimmer. No one here is happy about this, but it is happening. Authorities who wish to work with us as we track down this criminal should contact the fleet directly via comms. Meridian out. Well, crap. Okay. Earl is just sort of sitting there kind of flabbergasted about the whole thing. This can't be and they came in from two different directions. Asana, what do you mean they came in from two different directions? They didn't all come from the Meridian Drift? No, they came in from Galactic East. It must have been some uncharted channel. It must have been some kind of uncharted route. I'm kind of doing the math in my head, laying stuff out. I'm walking back into our ship. Zeb, can you bring up the star map where we've been? Show us the new routes that we mapped out. And it kind of, start from center of the map on Glimmer and this system. Zeb kind of does that, and we get this kind of thing, and it's like, that's where they got all the extra ships. And Arnav's like, what do you mean? They had an entire freaking military force. Twice I've gone past this. You familiar with LaGrange? No, I've heard of it, never been there. They've got an entire military force there. They've been, twice I was past over the course of 2 weeks, 3 weeks. They've been laying siege to that whole damn planet. They must have given up on that or gotten control of it and sent, at least several wings of their ships here. I wonder which it is. Yeah, I kind of wonder which they is, but there's a little bit more of an urgency here. I don't even know what to do, but we're going to have to get over to Glimmer. You think they're going to land people? Oh, they're probably going to land people. They're going to come searching for you. I got to do something about this. I got to get these people to back off. They've got an interest here. They think I'm up to something. They think that I'm doing, I went to their system and they came here and they're cahoots here. So they think that I'm they gotta assume that I'm up to something specific, or they wouldn't be panicking like this and making a big deal out of this. We need to get over to Glimmer and figure out. I'm not gonna ask Kay to come with me. Zeb, can you get back over there without them noticing? Sure. Zeb, I need you to do me a favor. Whatever you need, Earl. If you're ready to take off, we can set course for. I need you to stay here, and I need you to take care of Kay for me. I'm sorry, what? I need you to stay here. I'm gonna go to Glimmer with Paladin. We're gonna take a look at all this, figure out what's going on, see if I can figure out what the hell they think I'm up to. Try to make heads or tails of it, but Kay can't go there. And honestly, I don't want to take you there either, because they spot this ship, all hell's gonna break loose. I may need you, but not right now, and I need you to stay here, take care of Kay, and be ready. I'll get there, I'll go over with Arnav, it'll be fine. It'll probably be fine. And if it isn't, at least you two will be safe. Earl, I think that's a terrible idea. Oh, wait, absolutely, Zeb. This is an awful idea. It's also the only damn one I've got. This is what it is. This is what we got to do. I need you to do the hard thing. Sit and wait. I'm going to go throw myself into stupid situations. That ain't even hardly a challenge for me. I can't hardly avoid that. Of course it's a terrible idea, Zeb. I don't want to leave you here. I like having you with me. I like being on the ship. I'd rather be on the ship than any damn gravity well rock around here. But for right now, to take care of Kay and to keep you out of harm's way in front of, it's like 3 dozen ships up there. Zeb, we're not going to sneak you onto the system, onto the planet. But Arnav can, you know it. I need you, I'll holler. I promise. For right now, I need you to stay here. I hate this, Earl. I hate it too, buddy. I hate it too. But this is what we got to do. All right? Kay, I got to go. You're going to stay here with Zeb. Zeb's going to take care of you. Answer any questions. You two just, no matter what, unless I call, stay here, please. I can't take care of everything else. If I got to worry about just stay until I call or I come back. All right? That's all I need. I turned to Paladin and I said, all right, I'll grab my stuff and we're going to get going. Let's go. We got to figure out what the hell they're up to. Let's get down there before they get down there. All right, I'll go get the shuttle ready. So this is a lot, and this is a very short one, I apologize, but I'm actually going to do an extra one, I think, this week, because I've got some time coming up here, so I'm probably going to do another one this weekend. Watch the skies. There'll be another one probably dropping, just because this one's kind of short, so I'm going to do a little bit more, but I got a little bit to process here. I'm going to think on this one a little bit and keep going, but yeah, as we to end the session, Earl departs the Zebulon Harding, leaving one of his best friends and, not for nothing, two of his assets behind, and heads over to Glimmer to see if he can figure out what the hell's going on with Meridian suddenly dropping several dozen starships into orbit around the planet just to get their hands on it. All right, you tell me, does that feel like a 10 against two double tens? A friend, companion, or ally is in harm's way. Urgent message distracts you from your quest. Yeah, I didn't roll many dice this session, but the ones I did, whoo boy. I'll talk to you soon, all. When I see you again, time for Glimmer.